Gavin, well, it's finished 0-0 here, but it was certainly a game of plenty of drama. Perhaps we should start off with the red card after just 8 minutes.
Yeah, difficult one to take. We do feel like the lad was coming back from an offside position. I think our skipper slips, trying to get out of his way. So we're really confused as to why it wasn't given offside. But obviously the referee, in her divine wisdom, decides that it's okay, and he goes through and Zach just gets legs tangled. So no other decision to be made. If it's not going to be offside, it's a correct decision. So we're really disappointed. It essentially ruins the game. We then have to rip up our game strategy. All the hard work done in the week has to go out the window, and we had to very quickly try and adjust. And credit to the players, they really did.
Well, as you say, huge credit to the players, and you look back over those 90 minutes, such hard work, such endeavour put in, and a really valuable point in the end.
Honestly, they've done the football club credit, they've done themselves credit, the management, the staff, they've just really made the football club proud. When you work that hard, and it's hard to bring subs on. I know people all want fresh legs. We needed to bring Callum off. He's not really had much game time, so he needed to come off. Danny Waldron worked his socks off, as you saw there. It's hard to bring subs on because they've got to get up to speed with the game. It's never nice coming on when you're already a man down. So listen, really credit to the staff. We came up with a game strategy very quickly. But the players always know to trust our process, and I thought their concentration, their focus, their attitude, their application, the team that you don't want to go down to 10 men with is Gateshead, because they move the ball. If it's a team that go a little bit back to front, you can get on the first and second contacts, no problem. But with Gateshead, they move the ball from side to side constantly. They're really comfortable in possession, so you get very, very few chances to enjoy the ball yourself. But ironically, we probably go on about 3 or 4 chances in the first half. Probably should be ahead. Johnny has 1 save to make, I think, in the second half. So maybe 2, actually, doing them a disservice. But 1 was very comfortable. Another one was a real sort of a shot where the ball was moving a lot. But defensively, we just looked incredible. We looked really organised. We looked really solid. And again, that comes down, especially when you're getting fatigued. The players deserve so much credit because that's a tough place to be. You're 70 minutes in, 80 minutes in, and they're pressing and they're probing, and we've got to get numbers down the sides, and you're not just first contacts but second contacts. Then when the ball turns over and you haven't had it for such a long time, you're then expected to enjoy the ball and lend a pass and be brave and courageous. And I just can't speak highly enough of the players. We're actually already in there sensing a bit of disappointment, because of the sending off, and the players really wanted 3 points today. They were really up for it, and we know if we'd have taken maybe a chance in the first half, it would have been even better to defend that, and even maybe getting a chance at the end. So I can't speak highly enough of the players. They've just done the football club proud with a real hearty performance like that.
As you say, really well deserved, a big point. Travelling away to Southend next Saturday, but before then, another midweek game coming up. Yeah,
it's a great opportunity for some of the players on the periphery, I think, to come out and try and get themselves into the team. If you're a player that's on the bench or out of the squad, these are the perfect scenarios. So, against what's going to be a real tough Everton team, the lads are going to have to go all over again. So we've got to make sure we dust them down now. We're going to have to work really hard to get their recovery going. They're already in there in their ice baths and getting massage, and we're part-time, so it's not like we're in Monday, So there'll be a real plan just for them to be at home, making sure that they're staying on top of their recovery, and they've earned it. Like I say, we would have. We really felt today with 11 men we were going to go on and put in a really great performance for the home supporters, but not to be. Sending off ruins the game. I think I probably don't need to say it for everybody that was here, but I'm not sure the officials have done as much justice yet again. Probably less said the better from me on that one. But like I say, it's such a good performance from the lads in terms of their hard work, their desire, their job and a half, being so connected to what it is that we're trying to do. You work all week to try and put a game strategy together. It gets thrown out the window for them to then take something on in one short conversation and to follow it through. And a new player coming in as well with Callum. For him to be able to come in, and me and him were on a Zoom call last night going through what it is he needs to do, and the players are just properly connected. As a football club, we're onto a good thing, so we just want to make sure now that we double down. There's going to be some tough fixtures coming up, so we need to make sure that we go and put our best foot forward as always.
Been an odd one today, but plenty of positives.
Thanks,
well done.